All right, everyone, thank you for waiting. We are on the next video. So this one's on quadratic equations. So we're just going to jump right in and try to make this so it's not very long or painful. Okay, so on this particular lesson, what you're looking at here is they're having you cross out the ones that are not functions. And so you kind of should be able to tell by looking at it. Um, Hopefully. Okay, so we're talking about the zero function. We also use zeros, roots, or solutions for that. And they talk about where it intersects. So it's where um, y is 0. So it's where it crosses the x-axis, just as so where x equals 2 is a 0 of this, because if you set it equal to 0, you're going to get, if you replace it with 2, you're going to get 0 on both sides. Or if you solve it, you're going to get 2. Okay, and then they want to know the zeros here. So here, there's one there, there's one there. There's 2 zeros here, which is what you're going to be looking at, hopefully. Sometimes it might be 1, sometimes it might be none. Okay, and the next piece we're going to look at, this is where they do the zero product property. You should remember this from Algebra 1 or after if you had it. And zero product property just says if A times B is equal to 0, then you can do A equals 0 or B equals 0. So what you do is you have 2 parentheses. You set each parentheses equal to 0, solve it, and you should be able to tell me which ones are the possible answers for X. So I think you can do that. So we're just going to skip on to the next page and do the part that I think you would need help. So what you're going to do here is they're actually having you take one and solve it, and they want you to solve by factoring. That's just one of the methods that they're using. Okay, so what we did is we added 12 to both sides, and they want justification, so that's addition. They factored it, and then set each factor equal to 0 and got your answers. So we can talk about justifications if you need it, but it's more so do you understand how it works. Okay. Now for this next piece, what they want you to do is they want you to solve a quadratic, but they want you to use the table function. Okay. And so that's what we're going to look at next. Okay, so give me just a second. I just want to make sure that I have it down. So when you're looking at this equation, you see it's 4x squared minus 14x plus 7 equals 4 minus x. So what you need to do is you need to get this 4 minus x to the other side because it has to be set equal to 0. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, you can do it in separate steps or you can do it in one step. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to do mine in separate steps, but again, you can do it in one step if you like. So 7 minus 4 is a plus 3 equals negative x. Now I'm going to add x to both sides. And notice I'm combining like terms. So what you end up with is 4x squared, and then you have negative 14 plus 1, so that's a negative 13x, and then you have a plus 3. So now my equation's in standard form, okay? So what they want us to do is now enter it into the calculator. And this is where you enter it into the calculator. And then we're going to use the table function. I have taught you guys about using the table function quite a bit, so it shouldn't be a problem. So again, I'm going to go to Casio just because it's really kind of easy to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go, I am going to delete. You don't have to, you can just clear. One thing I do want to do as you look through your notes is we want to put this in the calculator. So, whoops, I forgot what it was because I didn't write it down. Oh, okay, so it's 4x squared minus 13x plus 3 equals 0. Now keep in mind you don't need the equals 0, that's the same thing as y. Okay, so we're going to put in 4 x squared minus 13x. If you were on a TI, make sure that you turn your stat plot off. Okay, so we're going to execute. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and tell it to draw. I'm going to have it go to a standard window from here. Okay, and hopefully that will help us out. There you go. So it's really nice and easy to see. Now, if you remember from this point, this is where you go to the table function. So we're going to go menu, or you know what? Let's leave it where it is. Let's do shift and go to the table. Did the shift hit? And didn't take me there. But that's okay. So let's go to a 5 on this one, and we're going to go to the table function. Okay, so it told us to let the table start at 0. So let's go in and set. We're going to let the table start at 0. Okay. Some of the calculators, they don't tell you where to start, but I think 5 is okay, and we're going to go in increments of 1 because I'm looking at our table. So let's create our table, and then they just have you put the numbers in. So when x is 0, it's 3, and then it's -6, -7, and it's 0 again, and then I just got to arrow down. 4 is 15, and that's where I need to stop. Okay, so what you're looking for is you're looking for where y is 0. Okay, and okay, so I know that one of the solutions, it's when x is 3. Okay, and I just got that because the y is 0 here, so x is 3. Now, when I go back to my graph, I know that there's another solution. And so what you want to do is they just had you go, let's exit, change your setup to start 0, but let's go at, let's make the step 0.05. Execute. Now let's go to the table. And okay, let's just arrow down. And there's the other one. So you notice the other one. So you might just have to make your table smaller, your scale different, because there it occurred between 1 and 2. And okay, because it's 0.25, or you know, and what they did is they just filled in the table. Okay, so I think you can do that. So that's your other solution. That's how you do it using a table. I have to admit it's probably just easier to just use the graph function, but we're going to do that too. Okay, so then on this next one, let's go back to 3. Now, so if you had just G solved here and you did roots, the first one is 1/4. The second one is 3. The table function might help those of you who have a TI see your answers a little bit easier. Okay, so just a heads up. Okay, now this next one is you're just going to graph it on the calculator and see. So let's exit, and we're going to change our function. Let's go back to the page. Let's go to the third page. There we go. Okay, so this one, they just want you to plug in the calculator. You're looking for these two numbers. Okay, and like I said, the table function thing might help if you're on a TI, because I know it's hard to get those points, whereas it might be easier if you use the table function. So we're going to go back here, and let's do this one on the TI and see if maybe that table function will help. Okay, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to turn my stat plot off. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to clear, and I'm going to type in a new one. Casio, you know you're just going to type in and you know how to get your zeros. But I want to see if the table function will help the TI people. So there's your x squared plus 2x minus 24. Okay, equals 0. Okay, so there's my equation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and graph. Wow, it's going down pretty low because I know that y-intercept is 24, or negative 24, so yeah. So I need to identify this one and this one. So if you notice here on the table function, it'll be real easy to do, but let's just change the setup, okay? Let's have our table start at -10. And the TI one is the one they're showing you. We're going to leave it as a scale of 1. Okay, now let's go to our table. Okay, so the first one you see, -6 is one of the answers, okay? And then let's page down in our table. I'm looking for the other 0. And there it is. It's 4. Okay, so you're looking at where the y is 0, and those will give you your two x's. Okay, so we had -6 and 4. And Casio people, you just should have plugged it in and got it with no problem. Okay, so then the last piece I want to go over, and again, this is just using the calculator. You guys should be like experts at it, I hope. And those of you who haven't, just keep practicing. If you keep doing everything I'm doing, you're going to get this. Okay, so now here is, they give you a function. They want to know how far does it fall, and they want to know how high does it go. How high does it go? How far does it fall? Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to put it in the graphing calculator. Okay, and get that ordered pair and get this ordered pair. It's going to be something 0. Okay, and then you're just going to answer these questions. Okay, so the distance it travels is what? Would be is it the vertex, the y-intercept, and so answer that. The maximum height, we already showed you where that is. Okay, and then so domain should include what kinds of numbers, range should include what types of numbers, and then just go from what to what. Okay, that's what you need to decide. Okay, and so pretty much, guys, that's it. Okay, the next page, they just have you solve one by factoring and then tell me something about it. We've actually already done that. And then this lesson check, if 5 is a 0, what does b have to be? I kind of like you to work on that, and then I will have the answers if you want me to show you that in class. But there you go. There's your other video. So you need to understand how to find a 0 and the 0 product property. And so rate yourself on how well you can do it. I hope it's good. Okay, and I will see you on the next video.